Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ English. Let's talk about a development from the state of Tamil Nadu. With assembly elections approaching, the Tamil Nadu government has finally announced the new scheme called TAPS, TAPS, that is Tamil Nadu Assured Pension Scheme, which guarantees a pension equal to 50% of the last drawn salary for the state government employees as well as the teachers. Now, people are happy. The move has now led to employee unions finally saying that we will withdraw a planned indefinite strike that would have happened in case the government would not have listened to their demands. As this has become the latest controversial issue. It is not just about the pension scheme, the old one or the new one. It is not about just a welfare initiative. In fact, it points out to the larger big debate in India. The core of the issue happens to be the balance between employee welfare and fiscal sustainability on the part of the state. Now, do not forget, Tamil Nadu and Kerala have been few states which have already been complaining for a very long time that under the Central Finance Commission, they have never got adequate compensation. They have never received a valid and a right amount of horizontal or vertical devolution. We shall look into the later part of this issue, but first let's look at what has happened in Tamil Nadu when we are talking about the new pension scheme that was announced by the government. Now, looking at the difference between the old pension scheme, the OPS, and the new one, the NPS. What's the difference? When you look at the old pension scheme, it was actually very employee friendly. Therefore, a lot of employees from the government departments were hailing that throughout. They had a demand for continuing this forever because under this scheme, there was no contribution made by the employee as such. It was the government that was paying the full pension amount. Apart from that, this was a guaranteed fixed amount and it was also protected against inflation. It was protected against market change, price rise, and therefore it gave a nice guaranteed assurance to all the government employees. At the same time, though, it used to be a burden on the government. Now, when you look at a country like India where the government has to, not just one state, but in fact all the states to a certain extent, they have to bear a good amount of their GDP cost into welfare, whether it be the medical expenditure, whether it be the pension care, whether it be the old age care, the child care, there is often a heavy load of welfare on the governments at the state level. So therefore, under the old scheme, it was the government that was bearing entire fiscal responsibility, financial responsibility. But in 2004, the policies changed a bit. When we look at the new pension scheme, which is also often referred to as contributory pension scheme, the idea now is that employees will also contribute a certain amount to the pension fund. That means while they are working actively, the employees will have to contribute to some amount of money, which will then be added up as their final pension amount. So under this, the employees and the government both need to contribute some money. It's a way more democratic approach where the return that you get in the form of your pension depends on the market performance. It can fluctuate. There is no guaranteed fixed amount. There is no guaranteed fixed money that you get as your retirement benefit or pension, and therefore it was opposed by employees thoroughly. Employee unions were very angry against the move. They said that we are not getting any insulation, any protection against inflationary measures. We are not getting any retirement benefit because why should we then contribute to a money that comes back to us as retirement fund? For about 20 years now, the same debate has been reeling in the state of Tamil Nadu as well. The same debate on and on where the employees were asking the government to go back to the old pension scheme where there is a fixed guaranteed amount and where the government takes care of the entire responsibility. Now, these questions are big questions. They are not just about one pension scheme or an employment guarantee scheme. We recently saw the whole big debate about Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi National Employment Guarantee Act, under which people in the rural areas were given 100 days of assured employment by the government. Now here also, it was the central government that used to take care of financial responsibility. But as soon as we changed it to the new bill now, it is controversial. It's raising a question on center-state fiscal burden sharing. It is a bigger question regarding India's federal structure. Today, the government says, except for the northeast states, Himalayan states, and certain other states, it is the states that will provide for at least a major share of funding. Now, the funding will be 60-40 between the government and the state governments. It is not going to be completely borne by the center. There, the same question was in the news. The fiscal relations between center and the state government. Today, once again, in the case of Tamil Nadu, a similar issue has risen. This time between government and the people themselves. The state government's fiscal responsibility versus the citizens of the state. Now, looking at what is the solution that Tamil Nadu finally found. The Tamil Nadu government has finally announced the TAPS now. It is an assured pension scheme. Why is it being celebrated? Because it's a hybrid model. Neither is it completely like the OPS, the old pension scheme. Neither is it completely like the new pension scheme. It is a mix of both, and that's why it's today being called as a win-win solution. The people are also happy. Why? Because under the new scheme TAPS, there will be an assured pension, 50% of the last salary that the employee had taken, drawn. Then 10% of the basic pay will be contributed by the employee themselves. That means it is a hybrid model between the new and the old pension scheme. Now, the government will bear all the remaining cost. That means, yes, the fiscal duty of the government is also intact. And when you look at the family pension, it will be 60% of the last drawn pension upon the employee's death or the pensioner's, the recipient's death. There is going to be gratuity. What is gratuity? A fixed lump sum amount that you provide on retirement. That shall be up to 25 lakh rupees based on the number of years of the job being done by the employee. Plus, there are other safety provisions like minimum pension will be given even if the qualifying number of service years are not complete. At the same time, there is a welfare element to it. Compassionate pension will also be given as a part of those new entries into the pension scheme who had retired without being guaranteed any proper pension. So you see, today it is being hailed as a very hybridized model between the old and the new pension scheme, which means the government also can say that employees' money is involved. At the same time, people are happy because the government is taking care of a lump sum fiscal responsibility here. It is indeed a hybrid model. That's why people are happy today. After all, it is both. It is an assured payment also to the employees. It is a contribution also from the employees. At the same time, why did the government of Tamil Nadu chose this middle path, as they are calling it? It chose the path because there has been a long-term demand from the people. Employee unions were pressurizing the government. They were acting as pressure groups. At the same time, the elections are around the corner now. Mid of the year, Tamil Nadu will go in for state election. That's why the government had to fine-tune this. At the same time, if you look at why did the government not go back to the completely old pension system? That's because it is difficult for the government to take care of so much welfare cost. It becomes a financial or a fiscal burden on the government. Now, that is why I was talking about the Central Finance Commission. Now, every time I talk about it, I'm sure it reminds you of Article 280, Article 281 of the Indian Constitution. Remember, we have discussed not just the Central Finance Commission, but also the vertical and the horizontal devolution of finances. Now, under the Central Finance Commission, when this commission provides a share of revenue, a share of money to the states, there are different criterias and formulas that are used. States like Tamil Nadu and Kerala have often complained that they are feeling as if they are being punished for having performed well. They constantly complain that we have been able to control our population much earlier than other states. We have a much higher GDP. We have a much better industrialization. We have improved education, sanitization, all of that, and still the current formula being used by the Finance Commission is always giving priority, giving more weightage to two things. One is population, the other is backwardness. And therefore, states which are more backward and states which have a much higher population growth rate always get more money as compared to futuristic states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala. That is a complaint that has always been there. At the same time, recently there was another controversy when the state government of Tamil Nadu refused to implement the PM3 scheme. Remember, PM3 was in the news for a very long time now. PM3, the remodeling of India's schools, public schooling system. Tamil Nadu government said we would not want to implement the scheme, but much later it agreed. It also complained that the central government has pressurized the state government, that until PM3 is implemented, the state will not get any funding to implement the broader new education policy, National Education Policy 2020. So in India, these kind of federal problems, these kind of fiscal federal relations are always under the news. After all, it boils down to cooperative federalism issue. But today, the same thing is visible. Once the state government of Tamil Nadu understood that people are not going to accommodate the new pension scheme at all, they have now found the middle path. Ultimately, the government could not go back to the old pension scheme completely. As I said, the financial burden becomes too much. So therefore, today we have the TAP scheme. The TAP scheme is a perfect middle path. There is an assured income. At the same time, the employees are also sharing a certain cost bearing. All this happened due to a committee that was led by a senior bureaucrat. It was known as the Gagandeep Singh Bedi Committee, which recommended a middle way, a compromise path to make people happy, at the same time to also make sure that Tamil Nadu government is able to manage its fiscal burden quite well. So from this topic, do remember the Finance Commission. Do remember Article 280, 281. Please, you should be very clear about the horizontal devolution of funds between various states. How does it become a matter of marble cake federalism, cooperation federalism? At the same time, which formula is being used which states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala are today opposing? And in the longer term, such issues, what do they point out to? In a country that is basically having federalism or being a quasi-federal country as its main principle. So quasi-federalism is our main basic foundation. And now what are the financial implications of this middle path, TAP scheme? One, there is a one-time contribution of about 13,000 crore rupees to the pension fund that the government will have to pay. Then 11,000 crore rupees will also be an annual expenditure that the government will have to take care of. So therefore, Tamil Nadu government will be spending about 62% of its revenue receipt on committed expenditure. Salary, pension, interest on that. And TAPS, therefore, although it's a middle path, although it's a compromise scheme, at the same time, it will also increase the commitment expenditure of the state government into all these welfare paths. And once that happens, we will reduce. The state government will have its budget being cut when it comes to other expenses such as social sector investment, capital spending, future, any kind of emergency. If you remember the Wayanad disaster in Kerala, till date the Kerala government has a complaint that the government did not give us enough money under disaster management, because the landslides in Wayanad led to major fiscal loss and the central government has not compensated for that. Now that is something Kerala governments keep saying. So every time fiscal burdens increase, there are always financial controversies. So let's see what comes out of this new policy. A quick practice question for you. Look at these statements with regards to TAPS, the Tamil Nadu Assured Pension Scheme, and look at these statements here. 1. TAPS guarantees a pension equal to 50% of last drawn salary by the employee along with some dearness allowance provision. Second, under the new scheme, the government employees will now contribute a fixed percentage of their basic salary to the pension fund, that's corpus. And 3, TAPS fully restores the old pension scheme by making the government only responsible for funding pension liability, pension expenses. Which of these statements are valid? Do let me know in the comment box. Here's a quick reminder. On 8th January, that's today, we are going to end flat 50% sale offer on all the courses from 26 to 27 to 28. Now, for those who are writing prelims next year, just 4 months to go. This is a perfect time to take aggressive training with us, where books, materials, Everything we provide, classroom, guidance, mentorship. You enroll for the course and then prepare thoroughly for GS1 and CSAT. But sale ends today and batch has already now been announced. It is beginning on 14th January, but sale ends today. So if you want a price that's flat 50 off, enroll today itself. Don't miss the opportunity. For 27 also, entire prelims, mains, basic interview guidance till 8th, till today, flat 50% off, and so is true for 2028. So therefore, you can give a professional edge to your preparation, guarantee your success with us at StudyIQ, but make sure you enroll today. And if you are enrolling, use code SPLIVE to avail the flat 50% offer with us. Thank you so much.